What's going on, YouTube? Man, back with another video today. I'm back from my trip from Philadelphia for opening weekend. Went to all three games. Obviously, the results weren't exactly what we wanted, but it's always a great time at Citizens Bank Park. The fans were there, they showed up, they were loud, they were rowdy. That ballpark's just, it's one of the best in major leagues. You know, the food, the fans, the atmosphere. It truly is a modern classic. And every time I'm back at the bank, I love it. That place feels like home. It is so fun going there from all the things going on around the stadium, the tailgating, Xfinity Live, all that. So what we're going to talk about here in this video is just our Phillies have now lost their first two series of the 2024 season. Obviously, we have a 2-4 record as of today. And how are we feeling about it? Are we feeling comfortable? Are we feeling okay? Are we panicking a little bit? There's definitely some cause for some concern, but I don't think we need to freak out just yet. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Yeah, so first, let's talk about the Atlanta Braves series. Obviously, opening day, you jump out to a 2-0 lead. That Brandon Marsh home run at the ballpark was electric. That home run sent that place into a frenzy. And to knock Strider out of the game with a 2-0 lead, and Wheeler was pitching as well as he was, you kind of felt like that game was going to be a win on opening day. And man, did our number one ranked bullpen, according to the ESPN Power Rankings, really let us down. Once Strom entered and immediately gave up those runs, followed up by Alvarado, that was a tough one. Especially, obviously the Atlanta Braves are good. They've got a great lineup: Acuna, Albies, Matt Olson. Those guys destroyed us all weekend. But man, that first game, to have Strider knocked out of the game with a lead, I was feeling confident we were going to get that win. And but that's baseball sometimes. The bullpen just did not show up that day, unfortunately. And then you roll into day two. You got Nola on the mound. And, that game was over in the first inning. Nola was horrendous. The defense lacked. The batters did not hit the ball well. The pitching was, again, dreadful, from our starter to even our bullpen. Game two, complete wash. I know the weather wasn't awesome, but hey, if you just paid your pitcher that much money, as much as Nola got, you expect him to come out with a better performance. And I expect he'll come out with a lot better performance against Washington on Friday. But yeah, that was definitely a letdown. And then you roll into Sunday, and man, winning Sunday's game truly changed that series and how I felt about that series. Because if you lose all three games to start the year to the Atlanta Braves, you're down 3 games in the NL East already. And you don't play that many divisional games anymore due to so much interleague play. So being down 3 to the Braves already in for the divisional standings, I don't want to say that you can't overcome that, because obviously you've got 159 games left after that, but getting one is a lot better than getting none. It makes the Braves only have a one win lead over you. And yeah, so winning that close game on that Sunday, that was a big win for our Phils, and I'm glad we were able to pull it out. Ranger Suarez, he gave up the 2 runs in the first, but he's just so cool, calm, and collected. That dude, nothing phases that guy. He's the chillest guy in baseball. He came back out, gave us, another 4 strong innings. And then the bullpen performed well. That was a good win. That was a big win. And then comes in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, obviously they started their season against the Nationals, who's definitely a lesser opponent. But they did what they needed to do. They won that series. So, in come the Cincinnati Reds. This is definitely a team that you feel like you're better than, and they won the series at your ballpark. Our hitters have just not come alive yet. Obviously Harper to start the year was like 0 for 11. Johan Rojas still doesn't have a hit. It's just not been good to start the year so far. And it's just like the third year in a row that it just seems like the team starts out so slow and so sluggish, and I just don't understand why. I don't know if it's because some of the guys aren't getting enough at bats during spring training. I don't know if it's just, if they think they can kind of just go through the motions in April and, pick up in May and like make the wild card. I mean, I don't want to just make the wild card. I want to really compete for the division this year. And again, we're sitting here at 2-4, off to another slow start, and you haven't won a series yet. So it's just frustrating. But I don't think, the sky is not falling. The Philadelphia Phillies obviously they've got tons of games and tons of baseball left. So I don't think it's anything to really panic about. But I think as fans, you can be a little frustrated because you look at this lineup, you look at the roster, and it's just not what you expect coming from them. And especially when you hear comments from Rob Thompson about how important it is to start off strong, and they come out and just do the exact opposite. I just don't get it. But, hey, we got the Nationals coming up. This is a series that we definitely need to win. Hopefully we can get back to 500, if not over 500. And then, yeah, we'll keep rolling. I mean, like I said in our last video, the first 30 games of this season are very winnable games. We started out slow, but by the end of April, we could be, 5, 6, 7 games, over 500. So I don't think it's time to panic yet. We just got to trust that our boys are gonna, pick it up, and that the bats are gonna come around. And I think the defense has been pretty poor this year. We've got a couple of errors on the season already, a couple of base running mistakes. They just got to lock in. Maybe they're just getting those spring training jitters out the way. So we'll see what happens in the rest of the month. But I feel pretty confident that they're going to get it together. That being said, I do want to talk about Rob Thompson's decision to sort of platoon Brandon Marsh. Like I said in the last video, I'm a huge Brandon Marsh fan. Brandon Marsh is an everyday starter. He's an everyday starter. I don't understand why he's being treated like why is it that Brandon Marsh gets platooned, but Rojas is just a lock in center field? Because if I'm being honest, Rojas is better defensively, but I don't think the gap between Rojas and Marsh defensively is as wide as the gap is between Marsh and Rojas when it comes to batting. I mean, Marsh is a significantly better hitter than Rojas, not just against lefties, but against righties too, right? Like, I know Rob Thompson cares a lot about the lefty-righty matchups for both pitching and for hitting, but right now Rojas can't hit either. I mean, Johan Rojas, I know he's young. I believe he's going to come around, but he's just not a major league hitter right now. He's just not. He needs at-bats. He needs to be in the minors to get some confidence, because right now, especially after the postseason and just kind of the pressure that he's probably felt to kind of come around, as a hitter and kind of show that he can belong in the majors as a hitter, I think it's all in his head right now. He hasn't even hit the ball out of the infield yet, and it's been 6 games. He doesn't have a hit. He's just not a major league hitter, and I don't understand why he gets a pass to be the everyday center fielder. I just don't get it, because Brandon Marsh is an everyday player. To me, he needs to be on the field every single day, either in center field or in left field or in right field. I mean, that dude can play. He's really been our most consistent offensive player up to this point so far. Like, obviously Bryce Harper had the big game where he had 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, but outside of that game, Bryce Harper has also done nothing so far. Schwarber's had a couple of solo shots. Alec Boehm's driven in a couple runs, but when it comes to, who's been our best hitter so far, I'd probably say Brandon Marsh is number 1, and then Alec Boehm's number 2. So I just think he needs to be on the field. I just don't understand why he gets platooned and Rojas gets a pass. But we'll see. Johan Rojas definitely has to show something in the month of April, or I think he will get sent down. I mean, he cannot go April hit list, right? He's got to show that he can at least create plays. And like the other night, he pinch runs and then he gets thrown out. Uh, those are young, dumb mistakes that just can't happen. And I hope he gets it together because I do think he's going to be our long term center fielder. He just is not there yet. I much rather have a Marsh Pache combo in the outfield than a Rojas Marsh combo at this moment. I think Rojas just needs to get some at bats under his belt, and then I think we'll be solid. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick little short video, kind of recapping the past week or so of Phillies baseball. I don't think it's time to panic. I think we're going to end the month of April, a couple games over 500. I think they're going to pull it together, and I think they're going to start this weekend against the Washington Nationals. So I hope y'all are still tuning in. I hope you guys haven't lost faith yet. I definitely haven't. I'm super glad baseball is back. I mean, that's coming home from work, watching a baseball game every day, cooking dinner, having a beer, whatever, like that. That's some of my favorite things to do, and I'm definitely still excited about this Phillies team. And that Bryce Harper, 3-run or 3-home run game, that was on my birthday, so that was a nice little birthday gift from him. Thank you, Bryce, always looking out for me. But yeah, so I'll see you guys next time.